Day, good day. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Back with a week, another weekly outlook, writing the vision, making it plain. Um, Commend our works to the Lord. Just some of the few things that are, our anchor scriptures to again aid us in preparing ahead of time for the week. The market opens up for the week. So, thank y'all for coming back. Let's get right into it. Good day, everybody. It's my weekly outlook for the week of Sunday, January 18th, 2026. And that goes until January 23rd. All right, so this weekly outlook is a little bit different compared to my previous one. Um, how it's going to be different is because I'm analyzing market structure slightly different. It's been a little bit of a battle between determining if I'm going to use just the MAs or just looking at market structure. But nonetheless, what I ended up choosing to do was just use market structure. And I pretty much compare trends as I was doing previously, but now I'm doing, how do I say, primary trends instead of secondary trends. And then on top of that, I will be emphasizing where I predict the market could be coming to in order to continue, if it is continuing, in whatever direction that is. Um, just being a little bit more proactive instead of just analyzing, more so getting prepared so that way I can participate if possible. So starting off with the DXY. What happened last week is my bias was a buy, zoom on out, and that buy ended up played out, played out by giving me the correction, for sure. And it looks very much like an ABC type correction. I didn't participate in this, but see that it did play out is wonderful. Now, what I foresee this week, along with my new way how I'm going to analyze is this. All right. So looking at this current impulse here compared to the previous trend, and for extra confirmation, looking at the trend prior to the previous trend. Currently, what I can see right now is that the market is potentially continuing, right? So this is an impulse. Sorry, this is a correction. So mixed is an impulse, and I believe this is continuing. So this is opportunity for continuation. So how participating in this would just be simply dropping down to my lower time frame, which would be the 5 minute, and then seeing the market correct on the 5 minute, while the 30 minute analysis time frame, higher time frame, still continuing higher. Um, it is. I do have bullish momentum, and my MAs are also in line, so that is good. That is good. That is good. It was definitely looking very funny. Price action was definitely very funny on the 5 minute. I dropped down earlier. So as of right now, it's not showing me anything that I particularly would like to um, see as far as getting my confirmation. Like, yeah, I mean, I can mark some zones up, but it's just moving very funny right now. So what I would like to see is for the market to continue higher, then get ready to participate in some continuation trading. And it's looking like this. Like, I assume that Friday was just very funny moving as all the pairs kind of just consolidated as I seen. All right, moving on over to AUD/USD. My analysis last week was for the market to sell. It did not sell. Instead, it just really consolidated the whole week. I mean, highs, lows, and it really pretty much just stayed in this range. And nothing too crazy. But preparing for this week, what do I see looking at this current move here compared to the previous move? I mean, this is an impulse compared to after some consolidation, right? So my bias in this case is going to be a sell. What I would like to see is for the market to pull back on that lower time frame, while again my higher time frame 30 minute is still continuing to sell. Right, MA is good, MACD is good. So the only thing we have to do is be patient. And again, looking down at this, looking very funny. But what can I see? I could definitely, if the market was to continue higher, I would go ahead and mark this on. I can definitely. I really don't like this. I'm sorry. I'm forcing it, and I'm not. I just can't force it. I would like structure to break. I mean, I know my MAs are going opposite of what my higher time frame is doing, but I definitely like to see structure broken to say, we're going opposite of that higher time frame analysis. Right now, again, I just need to let this breathe. Give me a little bit more data, and then I can potentially participate for some sudden opportunity. Moving on over to Euro USD. All right. So last week I I analyzed the market and I said the market was going to sell, and it did that. This is a very, very nice move. Very nice move. So glad that that played out that way. Now, going into what I see for this week, or at least for the beginning half of this week, right? Because I am definitely looking at a smaller scale of things. I definitely am only right now just predicting like what could happen in the next day or two or three potentially, because this is essentially just in a higher time frame. Uh, it's still the primary trend, um, but looking at it from this way is minor trend compared to what I was doing previously. All right, so looking at this move here compared to the previous move, and this move compared to the previous move. So this is currently potential continuation, right? Previous trend was a correction, which is an impulse. So this could be a potential continuation or potentially another impulse, right? One and the same in this case. But just need to pull back on my lower time frame. Higher time frame still good. And if we get that, we can potentially look to get some continuation in the excuse me person sell opportunity. Moving on over to GU announced last week also a sell. The market ended up barely putting the lower low, but it did sell. So that analysis did play out. Looking at what we have for this week though, uh, looking at this move compared to the previous move, you can tell, and also compared to the previous move prior to that, this is the impulse here, this is the correction to this impulse. So this move that we have here is potentially a continuation. So all we do is need to be patient, patient for pullbacks. Um, in the event that we do get this continuation at the lower lows created. And I'm sorry, I've also been forgetting my target. Um, my targets are also different. I'm using my FIDs, identify the one, and then 1.27 and 1.618. Those will be my TPs, but also I identify like a strong area to find them in. These are these zones here. Uh, look to the left, as you can see. I'm expecting some rejection down here. And last but not least, let's also look at EU, AU, and DXY. Same thing at my fib level, targets marked up, and also have identified a strong zone level. See the market turning around or having some big rejection. didn't throw a flip on this one. All right, last but not least, um, yen futures, not USDJY. So usually this correlates with the DXY. UJ usually correlates with DXY. But because it's yen futures, it's the inverse. And actually, this is correlated with DXY right now. Just looking at what's currently going on. Well, prior to that, though, bias for the sale last week, and that sale ended up playing out beautifully, beautifully. All right, what's going on for this week, though? Looking at this current trend, for the previous trend, it's currently an impulse. This was correction, and this was set impulse as well. So utilize my Fib extension, mark down my TPs. If you want to know where we're going to be targeting, we're going to be potentially getting out. Gotta have a destination. Um, with this being said, though, currently right now we are in a pullback, and there are some potential opportunities to continue. For the market to continue higher. Now this is moving a little bit funny for me, and I just need the market to calm down. I mean, we were trending pretty good here, right? Up in impulse correction, impulse, continuation, correction, impulse, and then market ended up, breaking structure down here. So ideally, I want to see the market make a new higher high for me to have continue looking for buys, high high, pull back, and then I can once market does create a high high, and identify some zones on the way on up to those TPs that I haven't marked up. So that's my outlook for this week. Um, Definitely a little bit different overall. Not too much different, but slightly different because I think this is going to be just definitely a little bit more of a shorter term analysis. Meaning I might have to come back Wednesday and do an update to this if necessary. Uh, but yeah, just slightly different approach. Hopefully, I was able to bring some and clarity and that's just make it plain. So thank you for watching. Stay blessed by the best. God always.